What's up, everybody? It is your girl, Miss Cat, your coach, accountability partner, and teacher.
And I am LiShon the Don, one half of the infamous, famous, best of all best, the Party Palace.
We're here. What is this, episode 24?
24.
All right.
B24.
Man, and one thing that I can say, we are wrapping up season 3. And you talking about consistency, you talking about putting in that work, you talking about just doing what we do. We have to take a moment just to applaud ourselves. Pat ourselves on the back. You feel me? Because, you know, I'm not going to say I didn't believe we wasn't going to make it, but, you know, we here.
I always believed that we were going to make it. It was just going to take some dedication for sure. I knew that it was going to take some, you know, just some doing when you don't want to do. I knew it was going to take some changing of scheduling and stuff like that, because we are both full-time entrepreneurs. And a lot of times, even though people feel like you have free time being an entrepreneur, it don't always work like that. So I'm definitely proud of us for just sticking with it. And, you know, even when it's like, dang, I got to rearrange this, I got to rearrange that. It's like, I'm proud of us for stepping up and getting it done.
For real. So I know through this past season, we've had some phenomenal guests. I cannot take from them, but I've been a little jealous. I've been a tad bit jealous because I'm like, the show is about them and it should be about us. Like, you know what I'm saying? So we just thought, guys, that we would just wrap up season 3, you know, with just us. You know what I'm saying? So we're back. You know what I'm saying? Both sides of the check, right? And, you know, we're here just to, first of all, thank you guys for following us, for viewing, for support, for commenting, liking, you know what I'm saying? Thank you to the guests that took out their time, you know, to be a part of this journey. But it's been a journey.
It's been a journey. I mean, and I'm a little different when it comes to it. I hadn't been jealous about it. Like, I always feel like the show still belongs to us. But I am more grateful than anything. First of all, because I've gotten a chance to hear some amazing stories. I've gotten some really great takeaways myself. You know, it doesn't matter how long you've been in business. You always have something that you can learn from and grow from. And I really am, I'm appreciative that I got the opportunity to get some nuggets from some really amazing entrepreneurs.
For sure. So with that being said, we've been kind of going through, you know, different segments, you know what I'm saying, with the entrepreneurs that we've been featuring. And so with that being said, I just think that maybe we should go through these segments. I know that episode 1, we kind of introduced ourselves vaguely, right? Okay. But, you know, for those that are just now tapping or just now following the journey, let's do it again, right? Like, let's first of all, and I'll start with you. You know what I'm saying? We talk about being an entrepreneur, you know what I'm saying? But what was it that you were doing before you were the famous bestest in the world, the Party Palace? Like, honestly, what was your, like, the job right before that?
The job right before that, I was a behavior specialist at a high school. Okay. So what that really did, what I did mostly was assisting kids who had developmental delays, who had some behavior issues and things like that in school. So nothing that I did, I don't want to say it didn't help me. It wasn't anything that I used skill-wise on the job training to help me with where I am as far as like my business, but mentally it had a great effect on me. You know what I'm saying?
Trying to say some of them clients? No, I'm just playing.
You know what? I can't. No, like it was a help. I'm gonna say that. I'm just gonna leave it at that. Like it really was a help, because my mom used to always tell me, no matter what job you're on, take something from
it. I got you.
Take something from that job and bring it back with you to build upon, you know, to just make you better in the next step. And I think that everything that I went through as a check cashier has made me move into another dimension in being a check writer.
Understood. Well, for myself, you know, my last job, I was working at an apartment complex. But when I really started to think about my journey, you know what I'm saying, it wasn't really that clicked me into entrepreneurship. Like, it wasn't the transition from that job to, to becoming an entrepreneur. It was actually when I was in film school, you know what I'm saying? Because even though, like, once I lost my job, I was on this entrepreneurial journey and so on and so forth, but I still had like the cushion of school and financial aid, you know what I'm saying? And stuff like that. So when I really think about it, it was that transition from film school, doing my first movie, then, coming into a real, like, business, if that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? So for me, what I've gathered, I never, it was funny because I'm like, you go from doing a feature film. So we did like a movie to becoming in a tax prep, you know what I'm saying? And so I always, would think to myself, like, what came from, like, how does that connect? Like, you know what I'm saying? How does this even connect? But what I realized is now that we're in a social media age.
You needed that.
Like, when I tell you the creativity from that is now why I can, do social media to the effect that I do, even being on this podcast, and things of that nature. Like, I would have never known back then, you know what I'm saying, that those skills would have been in such a usage, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, from going from being a creative, full-time creative, to the tax space. Like, I would have never thought that there would be anything that I could take from that.
But that's that brick by brick mentality too. Yeah. It's like every brick, every job, everything leading up to this moment is considered a brick, in my opinion. And you need all of those bricks to build this house. You know what I'm saying? You need all those bricks to build that house, but the foundation is in you.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
It's inside of you already. Like, some people don't have it, and I don't want to sound mean, and it's no shade at all, but some people got it and some people don't, and it's got to be in you already. And
to that point, is it safe to say that you feel like that, because we've had a couple of entrepreneurs in here, sharing their story, and a lot of them was like, I always knew, you know what I'm saying, that I was an entrepreneur. I always knew that was inside of me. Is that something that you felt, or did you gradually, like, did something happen to make you click, or what you thinking?
I think that somehow, some way, it's always been inside of me. Whether or not I recognize it, that's something totally different. But something inside of me always made me feel like I'm gonna be at the top of the food chain.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? If that makes sense. Like, I just always felt like, I'm gonna be at the top, but I always appreciated the bottom. You know what I mean? Like, I've always appreciated starting at the very bottom and learning wherever I am and learning all the way up to the top, because I always felt like that was going to make me better once I get to the top. Like, starting at the bottom is going to, that's where you grow. That's where you learn. I feel like that's when you get into stretching yourself. That's where you get into seeing what you're made of, because in entrepreneurship, it's going to take a lot of strength. It's going to take a lot of stretching. And all of those years that I've had in the past, it has pruned me for a time such as now.
Time.
I mean, it's been an amazing experience. It really has. But to answer your question, like, I've always felt like there was something inside of me, whether it was going to be a supervisor, a boss, or whatever. I just always feel like I was going to be more.
You want to hear my secret? And I'm going to be honest with you. And I think, like, this is the first time that I've had this epiphany. That's not my story. Like, it's funny, as bossy as I am, as CEO, like, I never in life thought that I was going to be an entrepreneur. I never in life thought that I could make a living off of just my gifts and talents. Like, I didn't know that you could just conceive something in your mind, take an idea, and make income off of that. Like, that was never... I was a basic chick, you know what I'm saying? Like, growing up, I was basic. Now, what I will say is, in my jobs, I've always been the manager, leader, whatever, like, creme de la creme in the job, but I never aspired. I never was like, you know what, I'm going to take over this company. And you know what I'm saying? Like I just aspired to be the best at what I was doing at that moment, but I never aspired to be an entrepreneur. And it was until that livelihood was taken from me that it clicked and was like, you know what? All this energy, time, effort, skills that I done poured into them, and they could just come in and just take it from me like I ain't nobody, like nothing.
Yeah.
That was the moment when it clicked to me. But from working, I think I started working at probably 16, 17, maybe 15. From 15 until 30, I was comfortable like with being a worker. Like I never, as long as I was making enough to do what I wanted to do, like I really never aspired. And it's crazy because like just at this moment, I'm just realizing that about myself. Like I never aspired to be an entrepreneur until my lifestyle was taken from me. I think that's what clicked. Like, oh, y'all never gonna do this again. And then when I made my first, we talked about last episode, we was talking about making that first 100K. When I made my first 100K, and I'm like, oh, this is, you know what I'm saying? And, once you get that taste.
Once you get a taste of it, it's just, you just can't stop.
You cannot stop.
And I think that with me, and that's where the show gets interesting because we are two totally different.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? We've come two totally different paths. I've always had my uncle, he's just like my dad. Actually, he is my dad. My Uncle Henry, he's always been an entrepreneur. So I've always been around entrepreneurship. But the thing is, he didn't raise us as entrepreneurs. He raised us to build the foundation. So I think that was something big for me to focus on the foundation, because if your foundation is good, everything else that you do is gonna last. It's gonna stand up. So I mean, it just was something always inside of me, no matter where I went and how I moved, that made me think about, just wherever you are, make that strong and build upon that.
And to be honest with you, he probably was planting the seeds, all along.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? And but that's great that you had somebody, you know what I'm saying, in your life to give you that to show you a different life. You know what I'm saying? Because some of us, unfortunately, we just didn't have
you didn't have it.
That exposure, you know what I'm saying, to those type of things. So if you don't know that it exists, you just, you just do what you know. You know what I'm saying? So, so for me, all I knew was working, so on and so forth, surviving, and for most of us, that was through, being check cashers, for sure.
And I mean, I got a good wind of that too, because I got that portion of it from my mom. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because I've always seen my mom work. Most times she has 2 jobs. It's even been a time where she's had 3 jobs. So I've always known about the grind, about the hustle and the bustle and working. So like my twin sister and I, we had the best of both worlds.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I think that we've taken that with us everywhere we've gone, and we've always been successful in whatever it is that you try to do, that I've done. You know what I'm saying? I've always been good at whatever it is that I've tried, because I looked at it from both sides.
Both sides of the check.
Both sides of the check. Like, so again, it's that was a brick towards both sides of the check. I mean, I've been a lot of roads, and all of them has led me to where I am now, and I'm thankful to God that I've had that, because it's made me keep going. We talked about on the last show about what kept her going and different things like that. Like that has kept me going, even when it didn't look like the way that I planned it to look. It's kept me going, because I know that on the other side of this rain, it's gonna be a rainbow.
For sure. And speaking of that, through the journey of entrepreneurship, this is both sides of the check. And we've talked about the NSF, the non-sufficient funds.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because it ain't all glitz and glams. It ain't all rainbows and butterflies. We know that, right? So has there been anything, through the journey of entrepreneurship that could have potentially, taken you out? Or, you know what I mean? Like, do you have, any you know, I'm sure there's many a story, you know what I'm saying, through this 11 to 12 years, you know what I'm saying? But is there anything that has happened that could have potentially where you might have not been here today to tell the story?
Honestly, you know, and you and I have talked about this several times, but that my page was hacked. Our social media was hacked, and I come from a time in social media where it was different then than it is now. And my page was hacked and we lost so many followers, and that's how we got our next client.
For sure.
You know,
for sure.
And when that was taken away from us, it was just like, what are we going to do? You know what I'm saying? What are we going to do? And it was hard to fight back, because when we finally got a chance to dip our toe back in the water of social media, it had changed.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, they had changed the dynamics of it because it was starting to be monetized. And we came from a time where it wasn't monetized, and nobody ever really thought, you know, the people on this side of it, we never thought that it was going to be something that was like monetized, so to speak.
Yeah.
So it was like, it was a crazy time, but I mean, we fought through it. We're still fighting, honestly, to just make it all the way back. But I don't think that there is a such thing as something that can totally take you out. I think that there's things that you can do that can build you up.
Yeah.
And at the time, it may look like something that's tearing you down or something that's taking you out. But if you look at it through the spiritual eye, I feel like it's something that's going to build you up, because
for the next big thing.
Thing, because we can't see around corners. You know what I'm saying? I say that all the time. I can't see around the corner, but I know my God is on the other side of that corner, and I have confidence in that. So even when things just go left, it's like, you know what?
Something gotta be
God,
ruined.
just thank you. I'm just gonna thank you now, because it's just that's just a part of life.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I've learned and grown and learned how to deal with that. And it doesn't take me out. It's not gonna take me out. I know nothing is gonna take me out. You know what I'm saying? I feel like I'm gonna make it. I'm gonna make it regardless. I don't care how this coin flip. I'm gonna be good.
And what's gotten you to that point to feel that such confidence?
Man, my faith in God, straight up. My faith in nobody but God. I can only glorify God, because He is the reason why I can say confidently, nothing is going to take me out. Nothing is going to take me out.
That's what's up. Yeah. And I know, like, you know, for me, I've pretty much told my story. Like, I told my whole story on one of the episodes. So if you haven't seen it, you need to go check back. Like, so I'm not going to go into that again. But I just think that for me as an entrepreneur, I think that any misstep, you know what I'm saying, could potentially take you out. And when I say take you out, I mean, I think that's a little dramatic, because like you said, if you know, have your spirit right and you're here for the long haul, you know what I'm saying, nothing won't take you out per se, but a loss
you can feel like it.
Yeah.
We talked about that too.
Or losses will happen. And, you know, sometimes you make an investment or do stuff, you know, within your business because you're trying to, you know, get to the next level. You're trying to do the next thing, you know what I'm saying, to progress yourself. And it totally set you back, or it totally, you know, knocked the wind out of you, or it just was a total... something flop. That like, total flop. You know what I'm saying? I remember, you know, hey, I can speak to this, but I remember investing in billboards. At one point in time, I had 2 billboards. I had radio ads going. You could turn on your Sirius radio and hear me on your radio. I spent a gang of money on ads, and asked me, did any of that pan out? Like, not $1 came back from that.
But it's a gamble.
It's a gamble. But what I'm saying is that could have, you know, I'm not saying it would have took me out, but that was an L. That was a straight up floppy L.
That money.
You know what I'm saying? That, like, you know, but I just feel like as an entrepreneur, you always gotta take that risk, because without it is no reward.
Risk, no reward.
You know what I'm saying?
Not only that, dog, is you like you said, you know what I'm saying? It was a risk for you, but you learned and you go, now you know, okay, don't do that no more. You know what I'm saying?
And that's what, you know, if not for nothing, honestly, that's what I would love for people to understand. Like, yes, you're gonna take a L. You're going to take a L. Like, guys, I need you to understand this. This will happen, but what do you learn? So the L could be a loss, or the L could be a lesson. You get what I'm saying? So for me, I'm maturing enough in business and just in life to know, okay, what did that teach you, Kat? Now, some lessons are expensive as hell, guys. I'm telling you, that could be a $20,000. And that's why, for me, I am a big advocate of coaching and mentorship, because I rather learn from somebody who took that L and saved my money. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But if you have to take that L on your own, right? For me, it's like, what did you learn from that? What did you gather from that? Could you have did something better? Did you do the proper research? You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Or did you just dive in because you was excited? You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, I just think that, again, L could be the loss or L could be a lesson. It's up to you how you maneuver from that, for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. I know I always hear you speak of, mentoring and coaching, and, it is a good thing to have somebody that you can get, you know what I'm saying, get information from, which, kind of brings us into something else that we talked about with the guests, giving them nuggets and giving them things. A lot of our guests before, they gave us a lot of good information, and that was one of the ones that kind of was common.
Yeah.
A lot of them said that, having a mentor, having a coach, just having somebody that can hold you accountable, that can hold your hand on this journey. Like, a lot of them said that was something that was good.
Yeah.
A lot of them talked about the tool, money being a tool. I think that was like a really good one.
Yeah.
Like that was good, because I've heard that before, but it didn't resonate, and it didn't hit me until I heard it sitting next to LP.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Sitting next to Carl.
Yeah.
It didn't just hit me. And I'm telling you, that has been drilled in me before from my uncle, from one of my really good guy friends. Like, I heard them say that, it's like, money is a tool. Money is a tool. You make the money work for you. You don't work for the money. And it's like, until I heard them say it in this mindset, in this state of mind, like, it made more sense. And I do also recall us talking about mindset.
For
what I'm
sure.
saying? Like, having your mind right is so important on this journey. Like, it's important.
So what, we hear both sides of the check. It's time to leave a deposit. So what deposit do you have for the people today? She got to take a break. She got some good for y'all today.
Yeah. No, I mean, and I think I addressed it when you, just a few minutes ago, when you asked me about what kept me going. I mean, I would certainly have to say, you have to find whatever faith you have inside of you and just hold on to that. You have to believe that you are going to make it. You have to believe that it's not always going to go the way that you plan. You have to believe that no matter what it looks like, there's always tomorrow. There's always a pick yourself up and brush your knees off moment, and don't let the moment from yesterday affect your tomorrow. Thank God that you made it to today.
For sure.
Just enjoy today, learn from today, learn from yesterday, and get ready for tomorrow, because it's coming. It's coming.
Okay. I'm like, how do I follow up from that? Look, my girl, she just, laid it on thick. But I guess for me, my deposit for today, would be that without no risk, and I know that it sounds cliche, but sometimes we have to really listen to the cliche. Like, we have to take a moment and listen to it. And we have to understand that, some of these things just sound good because people overused it or whatever the case may be. But if you, in your mind state, like you said, where you are now, you can really appreciate, those words. So for me, I would just say that without no risk, there is no reward. So that means that you must risk. You have to take some form of risk in order to get a reward. So the only risk, that you're really taking is not taking no risk at all.
At all.
You get what I'm saying? So you can never achieve nothing. You can never do nothing. You can never be nothing unless you take the risk. You know what I'm saying? And understand that failure is a part of the process. I'm going to say that again. Failure is a part of the process. So as long as it don't take you out, as long as that failure don't kill you, that means that you can learn something from it. You can build, you know what I'm saying, yourself back up, and you can grow, and just take the lesson out of everything that you think is a failure. Because like Sean said, sometimes what you think is an L or a failure is setting you up for something greater. We talked about this on many of episodes, some of our guests, about things that they thought, you know, oh, this was an L, this, that, and the third. I know Ari was just talking about how, you know, she $200,000 loss, and now she have all these franchises and things of that nature. So again, if you let that failure take you out, because it is a mental thing too.
Oh yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So you gotta, I'm not saying that it's gonna be a cakewalk, like you just walk through it and not like, you know, no, you're gonna cry through it, you gonna snot through it, you know what I'm saying? But if you can brush yourself and get through it, there's gonna be something greater on the other side. And you have to believe that. Like, cause there ain't no word strong enough when you going through what you going through. It ain't nothing strong enough but the Most High, you get what I'm saying, and your faith within yourself. So again, especially because this show is geared for people that are thinking about joining this side of the fence, becoming a check writer. So if you're thinking about it and you take that leap and the first thing don't work, don't quit, don't stop, keep going, because through the perseverance, that's when the breakthrough is going to come. Oh, yeah. That's what I got for y'all today.
Oh, yeah. Well, I think that was a good way to put it. But don't quit.
Definitely don't quit.
Don't quit.
And speaking of not quitting, look, this is wrapping up season 3, guys. Like I said, we've come thus far. Sean, do you have anything coming up? Anything that the guests should know about you? I know, look, she kind of secretive, guys, so I don't know if she's gonna share all her inner workings. But you know, you can follow us too. We always put our guests on the forefront, but we got businesses and stuff too going on.
Make sure y'all follow me on Instagram, LiShon the Don, for what's coming up next. I still have some things in the making, and I'm really big on being protective in this season of my life of what I'm working on. But trust me, I got some big things coming up, and I just want the listeners and the viewers to know just stay tuned.
Connected.
Don't quit. Take everything that you got from these shows and just make it work for you. Just like we said, money is a tool. Use this show as a tool.
Hey, I mean, the free, it's free.
It's free.
Free advice, free game. And you're hearing from people that are where you want to be. So it will behoove you to grab your pen and paper. So season 4, I'm gonna let you make it 1, 2, 3. You wasn't on point. It's okay. But starting in season 4, I'm gonna need you to come to these episodes with some pen and paper so you can learn something.
But what you are always busy. Like I have to schedule a lunch date with Kat weeks in advance. So tell the people what you got going on, friend.
Well, for me, hopefully by the time this airs, you know what I'm saying, I will be done release these shirts. I've been saying I'm going to release these shirts, so I do have my shirt line that I want to get out there. Also, in the process of writing the book, so I have chapter 1 done. It's coming in November, so y'all stay tuned for that. But most importantly, guys, and this is specifically for those that are looking to get on this path of entrepreneurship, I have created a digital product, a class, for the lack of better terms, for those that are looking to take their concept and make it into a company. So if you have an idea that you're wanting to get somebody to help coach you and mentor. We talk about coaching and mentor. And guys, I am one of the best coaches and mentors out here, okay? You better ask somebody. So if you're looking to find a coach, a mentor that can help you take that idea and put it and make some income with it, then you definitely want to get into my concept of company. So you can follow me on all platforms at Miss Cat Consulting. That's MSCAT Consulting on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok, and just stay tuned. And then, of course, there'll be information on how y'all can, get in touch so that way you can participate and be a part of the course. So that's what we got. And again, hey, we wrapping up season 3. And we're going to keep this thing, keep this thing going.
But now we want to hear from you all too. And if you think you got what it takes to be on the show, If you want to come and drop a nugget,
let
inbox us. Put a little ad down at the bottom, all that good stuff. Let us know. But we're going to go ahead and shut it down for today. But I'm your girl, LiShon the Don.
And I'm Miss Cat, your coach, accountability partner, and teacher. And we're both sides of the check.